Hey guys, Larry here, Boxcars Garage. So we are back on the crusty 36. Finally, we have got our passenger door. Turned out to be a pretty nice door. My dad actually took delivery of this door from a fellow that was near his area, and that's why it took a little while for me to get it. I waited until I went up to Evansville to the Frog Follies. Let me go ahead and bring you up closer, and we'll talk about this door real quick in the way ahead. Okay, so I've looked this door over just kind of briefly, but I do have, the bottom's not rotted out, which is kind of a first for me. Seems like the majority of my doors have got rotted bottoms, but I haven't like gave it a check for pinholes or weak areas. I do see some pinholes. A couple. Right here, a couple. Whoops, there's another one. All right. It ain't a perfect door, I guess. But we'll take it. The body line's good. Would look nice if it was sandblasted and primered up. Kind of a really obvious problem with this door is that one of the hinges are flipped in the wrong way. The top one is right. That knuckle side is supposed to be on the door itself, which it is on this one. But down below, it's completely reversed, and you can see there's a taper in the hinge that if this was done the right way, flipped the right way, it would probably line up with the outside of the door correctly, and it does not right now. This hinge has been welded in place, and I've got to guess that there's probably no rivets in it, so I'm going to cut this away. Cut this weld away to take this off to flip it around, because right now I can't even stab it into the opening here and it'd be halfway right, because this is not right. So I have no idea why somebody would do this, unless, you know, the car was as bad as this and whatever. But so we'll go ahead and get to flipping this around, and we'll see if we can get her in the opening. But the shape of the door is good. No major issues as far as the sheet metal. Really is a nice door. It's a sedan door, so it's squared up here. It's gonna have to get cut back a little bit, because right now it doesn't meet with the gutter. The gutter is kind of doing this right here on the car, and so that's got to be cut back. I'm going to wait until I've got it like up in the opening before I consider how much I'm cutting off. But I think it's just about a 1/4 of an inch, and it may go out to about right here, and it's kind of in an arc, so not a big deal. We can do it. Not a perfect door, but for where we're going with this right here, that's okay. Definitely needs some patching right here. We can work with that. Let's cut that hinge off. So I did promise transparency in all the Boxcars Garage productions. There was a design evolution with regards to this rebuild kit that I'm trying to put together, and you can see there was a couple of attempts made at building this sub support that goes in this area here, and you can't see it when the skin is applied, but this is what the latest and greatest one looks like, and this is the original one. You can see it's kind of worse for wear, but this is supported the hinge, and then the jam skin laid over it. You can see they reinforced it by pressing in a bead down in the corner here, but I went off of this shape, and I made the assumption that this shape was somewhat my target, and ended up it wasn't at all. It didn't yield in a flat to flat product. I mean, it was up about an additional 1/4 of an inch. So that wasn't right to start out with, but then I replicated it in a part that just ended up not working out for multiple reasons. It was, I tried to heat it up and form it here in this corner, this little kick up, and that didn't work out all that great, and when I put it in the door, it didn't look any better. So I got rid of this, and I made this one. You see, I got rid of that kick up detail. I just decided it was making my life painful, and I didn't need it. so I got rid of it. But again, my fit wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, and it was actually ended up being a little bit short. So I got rid of that one, and we ended up with the one that we got now. And what I've decided, I'm going to go ahead and pull this cover off here. This is going to be another part of the patch. You can see that piece, that pad's supposed to set, you know, at the bottom and help support the weight or the rigidity of that door, keeping it stiff and straight, I suppose. And I've got this kick up that I've wedged in between two layers right there. This is the substructure that I was talking about with this new game plan. This is just going to slip in there, and then I'm going to drill and rosette weld this piece to this, and then from here I've just got to get a piece of flat sheet metal, and I'm going to drop it down, and it's going to follow the bottom here, and then it'll kick up and go underneath this lip here. Get you a better look here. And then that will give us our two layers, and everything should be good once we get that done. This piece right here, I originally did, it was like all 90 degrees, and it fit up terrible because there is some really slight contour in this door, the bottom of the door. And there's also some contour that happens here on this end. So I ended up having to cut it apart. I cut the contour into it, and then I tacked it back together. I'm going to have to finish weld it. But now I've got this, I think this patch is going to fit up really well. I've lost a portion of my metal that laps and folds with the door, and I'm gonna have to replace that. That shouldn't be that big of a deal. We'll see how I work it in there. I also need to clean up some of this metal. It's a mess. We'll see how clean I go with it. But anyway, so this is kind of what we're operating from right now. My video does not cover building this box, but it will pick it up at where it's at right now. And I've got to put some contour in this panel right here in this area. The existing door panel has got kind of a valley that's pressed all the way down here. So I need to continue that up here and make the sheet metal piece like I talked about, and then we should be ready to start clamping it together, welding it, and tightening it all up, and we will move on from this piece right here. So I've had a heck of a time getting this video out. Here's all my excuses. My video editing software just like completely died on me. And I went through some level of effort to get that up and going. Now I'm good there. And in putting this video together, I had some video that lost the audio track. I don't know why or how. And the thing about it was when I downloaded it from my phone or the camera, I can't remember which ones lost the audio, but I always select delete after the transfer is successful. So, you know, I gumped them, and then I looked and saw that I had some caution flags letting me know that there was a problem with those particular clips, and the audio dropped out. So I didn't have the wrap up video and audio to wrap this up. That's why I'm here now and not in the shop. Apologize for that, but all in all, the repair I think turned out just fine, especially considering the car that it's in, and it's going to allow us to go and start fitting the door, and specifically how the door should relate to an A-pillar. I've got to build that A-pillar. I've started making parts for it, but I really needed the door, so now I've got the two. I should be able to arrange some sort of standoffs, like if you could imagine some chunks of 1/4 inch steel, and I could tack those along the inside jamb of that passenger door frame, and then put that door in there, get my body bead lined up with the adjacent parts of the car, and hold that in place while I pull references from inside the car in how that hinge should relate measurement wise to the A-pillar that I've got to finish building. So it's going to be really tricky. I mean, I'm a novice. It's going to be super tricky for me, and I think locating those two things together would cause anybody a certain level of caution, because there's going to be a lot involved, and it'll be interesting to see if I can pull it off. So that's what's going to happen next, and should make for some good content. Hopefully I get through it. To everybody that made it to this part of the video, hey, thanks for toughing it through. Hope you enjoyed it in some form or fashion, and if for anything, this is probably the ugliest car right now that's being worked on YouTube. So you get to see me mess with it here. So that's unique in and of itself. So if you're new to the channel, hey, welcome aboard. Glad to have you. And for all you watching, you know, this video wouldn't happen if you guys wasn't watching. So I thank you. I always thank you for being here, and for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, take a look back at my other videos, and if you like the vibe of the channel, if you like the projects that are, you know, happened before and going to be happening in the future, then consider subscribing, and we will go on from there and make it happen. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and get this in the can and get it out to you. So I'll catch you guys later. Bye.